What's going on, everybody? My name is Chris, and this is Bourbinsane. Today we're going to be reviewing Heaven Hill Bottled in Bond Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Now this is actually the discontinued product from Heaven Hill they just announced about a month ago. This is the Bottled in Bond version of the 6-year age-stated bourbon. So one of the best bourbons, budget bourbons for the money. If you can still find it now throughout the country, this is about between $10 and $20 depending on where you get it. I think I got mine for $15 when I was in Kentucky over the last about 2-3 months ago. And nowadays you'd have to try to find them on secondary if you can even find any left in the stores. Secondary, I've seen them as high as $50-$60 even per bottle, so it's crazy what demand does with these things. But overall, this is considered one of the best budget bourbons you can find. I mean, the Bottled in Bond being 100 proof, 6-year age statement, good Heaven Hill brand. I mean, it's hard to beat that, especially for $15 when it was fully readily available. Heaven Hill does also make another white label product. It's exactly the same whiskey, just not bottled in Bond. I think it's around 90 proof in that bottle. That can actually you can find in stores for about $8 to $15. But in my opinion, this bottle is substantially better than that. So if you are able to find this bottle, please go out and find this bottle instead. You won't regret it. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into the color here. So I'm coming off the back of doing a Buffalo Trace tasting, and this, you can even tell, is much darker than the Buffalo Trace is. Seems to be much darker at least. And Buffalo Trace was 90 proof. This is up to 100 proof, so that kind of makes sense. But if you look at the color, it does look darker to me. It does say on the side of this bottle here too, it is charcoal filtered. I don't know that that would affect color really. I would think it's mostly going to be coming from the barrel. Some of you guys probably know Jack Daniel's, they do their maple charcoal filtering. That's why they're considered Tennessee whiskey instead of bourbon. But this also does say on the side of the bottle charcoal filtered, yet this is a Kentucky straight bourbon. And again, it's quite dark, probably just from the 6 years that's going to add some color, also being the 100 proof as I mentioned. So let's get into the nose here. Little more alcohol burn on this one than the Buffalo Trace when I did previously. I get a lot of a nutty smell almost with this bourbon. Almost like a peanut. Not a salted peanut, but like a dry roasted peanut. And almost like a dusty wood smell as well. This kind of reminds me of the nose on the I.W. Harper 15. Obviously 15 years versus a 6 year is going to be different, but this nose kind of reminds me of that. It's a pleasant nose. Nothing overly interesting in the nose really, but it's pleasant nonetheless. Let's go on and give it a taste, guys. Cheers. Yeah, this one definitely has a lot more burn going down than the Buffalo Trace did previously. Not a harsh finish, but medium finish. Goes down, like I said, a little bit more burn, a little bit more of that Kentucky hug you get in your chest there. A good flavor though. I still get the nutty taste. A little bit of dusty wood still, like I mentioned with that I.W. Harper. Still get those tastes in there. Let's go back for another sip. Yeah, you still get all the classic bourbon, vanillas, caramels. That's all still there. I personally like this burn a little bit more. I myself lean more towards barrel proofs and higher proof bourbons in general, just because I like that full, rich flavor I feel like I get from higher proof compared to the, some say, smoother, lower proof bourbons. So personally for me, I prefer a little higher proof, and this really does hit the spot. I mean, just a great everyday sipper. If you're making something like a mixed drink as well, like an old fashioned, I mean, I would think this would fit in perfectly I always like to use higher proof bourbons in my mixed drinks because you're going to be watering down your drink with, other liquors or other, ice, whatever you use to mix your drinks. So something a little higher proof actually gives you the taste of the bourbon, which is what I personally look for. I like that taste of the bourbon. I know a lot of people try to mask their whiskey, but that's not me. I like the taste of it. Yeah, after the second or third sip, you don't get that burn anymore. I mean, your tongue is now used to it. Your tongue's used to that feeling. And it's just a nice, good drinking bourbon. I mean, $15 for this bottle of bourbon, you really can't beat that. If you can find it, guys, go out and pick it up right now. I would pay as high as $30 for this bottle. I wouldn't go above that. I mean, like I mentioned, it's good, but there's a lot of really, really good bottles, in my opinion, between the $30 and $50 range. Hopefully we can get into those further on in upcoming videos, if you guys would be interested in that. Personally, I enjoy bottled in bond or even higher proof whiskeys and alcohols and bourbons in general. Down the road, I'd like to do a flight of bottled in bond versions, maybe like a bottled in bond head-to-head to see what I like better. Could probably talk my wife into blinding me so I don't know what's what and see what taste profile I just prefer for you. I'd really enjoy doing that myself. I'm sure other people would like to see that too. If you would, go ahead and let me know down below. If you have any suggestions, please do let me know what you guys want to see. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. Stay insane. Thanks for watching the video today, guys. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also follow me on Instagram at Bourbinsane and Facebook Bourbinsane.